What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the VR Link. How are you all? Everyone in chat, thank you for joining me. Let's give a quick shout out to everyone who's joined us. We've got Eve Boss, Feli, Eddie, Zipon, Michael. Yeah, sorry about that, as I was trying to explain in the chat. On Facebook, if you try and... whatever I streamed last time, yeah, because this isn't anything in particular that Facebook would understand. You can't call something a podcast. You can't. It's got to be something. It just defaults back to what I did before. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't change that. Toby Talk, I'm glad you all like the intro. It's pretty cool. Boy Brown, Brody Mac, Virtual, Skeever, Watto, Eric Hartley, Nice Paradox, Midlife, Tasnik, I'm Hot G, Mark Ledson, Lord Necton, Miss GT, Monkified. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the VR Link. This is episode 43. And this is our weekly Sunday Service VR podcast that gives you and us a chance to discuss some of the latest goings on in virtuality and gaming. So allow me to introduce my fellow host, Salsa from Salsa Catch Up VR.
Hello, everybody.
Nat from 7 Degrees of Gaming.
Hello, guys.
And Sackboy. And Dane from Get to the Chopper VR.
Howdy, strangers.
He was just messing around with some Zoom backgrounds. I'm hoping he's got some cracking ideas. So in the weeks to come, I'm sure things are going to be pretty cool. Finally, for those of you on the move, you can listen again to the VR Link as a podcast on Anchor and Spotify. You can follow us there. I would like to also thank the amazing patrons of my channel and channel members whose names are listed below. And if you're looking for ways to support this channel, please check the links in the description. And while you're there, please consider joining our community Discord, which is now 600 strong, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I hope you've all... It is, man. It is. I couldn't believe it the other day when I checked it. When you basically make a link for it, when you at everyone, which I do for videos sometimes, or actually every time, it basically says sometimes like there's 600 people, and I was like, bloody hell, that's crazy. So thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate it. Let us know what you've been playing this week as we go through what we've been playing this week, and yeah, let's get into it. But while we're doing that, let me get up this really cool video of a guy playing guitar with his hands, which we saw. I think it was like a hand tracking thing.
Yeah.
It looked really cool. Let me just make sure that it's. So yeah, hopefully. So now it's now on screen for everyone at home to watch. But everyone can still hear you.
Like magic.
And I think it looks absolutely superb. And I think it's something that everyone would love to see happen. I was a big fan of Guitar Hero back in the day. And yeah, unfortunately,
that looks wicked.
It does. It looks absolutely superb.
This is Air Guitar Plus, isn't it? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it looks absolutely wicked, dude. I can't play the music, unfortunately, because it would be massively copyrighted. But yeah, it does look superb. And I'll get that running up as a mini screen in the middle. But that's something I'm really. It's an idea, you know. It's just an idea at the moment.
It's really cool. It is a very cool idea. I mean, that is Air Guitar Plus.
It is.
I like that.
Yeah, I can't wait for something like that. I was a big fan of Guitar Hero back in the day. I got really obsessed with it, actually. And but I don't know. I mean, it looks like the finger tracking is there, but I don't know. I mean, do you think he's just found like the nice sweet spot? I mean, it's not very quick, is it, what he's doing? It's quite...
I mean, it wasn't sort of like more on the finger detail, fret detail. It's like a mixture of simple finger gesture and motion of the hand.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. I mean, that's you know, what it is. So yeah. He's going to what the limits are. Because, you know, the Quest, though it's impressive that it does that, it's not like the fastest tracking thing, even though there is keyboard ones out there as well, piano ones that match onto real keyboards.
Yeah, man, that looks absolutely wicked. Let's go through what people have been playing this week quickly. What have we got? This looks awesome. Nice. It does. It looks really cool. Mike's by the Games says, hi guys, I prefer the real thing. What we got? So, Boy Brown. He's been playing Lies Beneath, which also got released on Oculus Rift this week, which is pretty awesome. I wonder if anyone's been checking it out over on the PC VR side. Pro Putt We played that together on a live stream. Thank you ever so much for joining me with that. It was really cool. Half-Life Alex and Hyperdash. Mate, that sounds like a fantastic week, to be honest with you, in gaming.
That sounds like a good week.
That sounds absolutely brilliant. I'm sure he's playing the Persistence. Oh man, the Persistence, which I think is now coming to PC VR.
PC is, yeah. Which is a brilliant game, great value for money from in terms of the PSVR.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially because that whole thing of it just creating a level every time. Great game. Good addition, good strong addition to the PC lineup as well.
Yeah, I think it's
a game from an indie developer, basically, isn't it? It's so well done, really polished as well.
It is.
I think it's one of the gems on PSVR. The Persistence. Is it Fire Sprite?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, that was when I went to EGX. Wolfie, the Game Cub Smith, he basically won one of their challenges and he won a signed copy of the game while he was there. And he's currently streaming it now, as far as I know. I think I've seen him.
Was he?
Yeah, I think I've been seeing him stream it.
So you get back into it again because he likes to go through his records. So he does try to chase the leaderboards.
Yeah, Rock Band VR is great, says Lord Necton. Pistol Whip, baby, hell yeah, from Tasnik. Gollum from Midlife. Watto played the Room VR, Down the Rabbit Hole, and some Automobilista. That sounds like your thing, Salsa.
Yep.
Can't really recommend Automobilista 2 at the moment in its current state. What's that all about, dude?
Still early.
Spicy.
No, it's still. It went into early access. It was supposed to go into full release.
Right.
It went into early access instead. I think you need to give it. I think the full release is maybe 6 months off.
Okay.
Others saying a little bit more.
I think that's one of those things, though, isn't it? Like when you dive into early access, obviously you don't get that on PSVR or anything. It's a very steamy thing, isn't it? Early access, and you've always got to be clear what you're buying into, and they do make it clear that if you're going into an early access game, like for example, I played Virtual Battlegrounds this week. Just come out on the store. Before that, you could get into the beta and alpha, but with the developers. And it's on the store. It's in early access, and people are saying there's bugs and stuff. But I think it's £13 for a VR battle royale game. And as soon as you start into the lobby, which is not part of my video, which I'm thinking about live streaming it, is the devs are asking what do people want. There's 6 options that people are voting on over a week. Is it body armor? Is it quad bikes? Is it? Do you know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
And
for
they're
me,
going to go down that direction. Go right. Well, look at that. For this block, do our release based around that while we're doing other big bug fixes, and then pull in features that way.
Yeah,
and it's a really good idea actually, because obviously in this modern age, quite a lot of developers use Discord to kind of communicate with their fan base, so to speak, to find out. But not every player is going to use that. Whereas every player that plays the game is going to see that menu, and they're going to have to answer it. So it's such a simple solution, but you wonder why other developers don't use it as well.
Well, yeah, like when you think about Pixel Ripped, that they actually had like a voting system for the whole entire next game.
I won.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. He also played the Room VR. I think everyone absolutely loves that escape room. What else have we got? Final Assault, nice. Half-Life mods, yeah, I checked that out this week. Done some Wolfenstein, it was awesome. Hello, Ham. What else have we got? Sonny says he's been playing Seeking Dawn. Now, that was the game I think that was supposed to be coming to PSVR at some point.
I think they pulled it.
Yeah, they pulled it. Yeah, I haven't played it. I've still not played it on PC. Has anyone played it?
I did play it a bit on PC. Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad actually. I kind of enjoyed it, but would I go out of my way to recommend it? Not really. It's not as crafted as some other games out there. If you've got a Viveport subscription, it's on Viveport Infinity.
Oh, yeah, and that's really cheap at the moment, isn't it?
It's a really big thing at the moment.
Only until tonight.
Tomorrow?
Really? You got to do
it? Ends tonight.
So, ends tonight. If you've got PC VR and you're new to PC VR especially, go to Viveport because it's like 27 quid for a whole year's subscription. So
I know, that's crazy. Look at Dane's face. That's
quid.
That's what I was like. I was like, wow,
Or,
that's amazing.
About 30. Is that going to be like what, $33, $35, something like that?
Yeah.
For a whole year's subscription. So if you haven't got 5-port, now's a good time to buy into that for a whole year. For that, I would say, yeah.
Nice.
It's got some good stuff on it. It's got some real stinkers on there as well. But if you've not got that big of a library,
okay, Eric said
a few decent games.
Eric said it's also $27, so it's the same. £27.
$27. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's always the way.
That's the way. Yeah, we never. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man.
We got rinsed on that one, didn't we, fellas?
We always do.
But actually, no, we didn't get fully rinsed. Because I mean, obviously, that's normally like £100 or more. Well, just over a bit.
Well, the yearly subscription is £107.
Yeah,
I think. But you can do it monthly. But it's $12.99 a month, and you can cancel it after a month and stuff. But yeah, as Salsa said, it's £27. I've signed up for it.
I'm gonna after this
because at the end of the day, I mean, it's £27. That's pretty much a full price game, and you'll get more than that out of it. I mean, I've been looking at some of the stuff on there, so sort of like as you said, Seeking Dawn's on there. I think Final Assault's on there as well, and there's loads of other games where it's like, oh, I'll give that a try. I think Westworld Awakening's coming as well tomorrow.
What I'd heard.
Oh, nice.
So
that's really good.
I'll most probably take advantage of that. At the end of the day, I'll get £27 worth of use out of it within a year. Would I subscribe for £107? Most probably not. But
this is why some people I talk to at work, and I'm like, even if you don't play online, I still think PS Plus is worth it for the price. Like when you pick it up, not off the store, but if you pick it up off CD Keys or somewhere like that for like £35, £40. I think you get your money's worth out of that over a course of a year. I don't see how you don't.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't really play online. And I'm like, but you get those games. You get to keep them. And
well, as long as you got PS Plus, you keep them. If you
that's another point. If you have Quest as well and play through Quest Link or the virtual desktop, it works as well because most of the games actually run via OpenVR and Steam.
Because literally my Vive port linked to my Steam account.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah, man.
So, yeah, you can.
I think I'm going to be checking that out. I did a free trial of Vive port, and personally, there wasn't that much for me for a reason to sign up because I played a lot of the games already on there. But if you're ever new, like you'd be crazy not to go and sign up for that. There's just so many classics on there, and it is. I think that price is crazy.
Don't get us wrong. It's not all classics. There are some stinkers on there as well,
mate.
But you don't have to care about it because you can just pick it up and do it.
Yeah.
There's some other things on there that I really liked in terms of animations as well. So Gloomy Eyes, The Story of C. These are all good ones to go for.
Did you see that?
The combined price of those are,
Did you see that tweet I put out about that game, Waves of Death? So talking about right. Sorry, I know you can see my cursor by the way, guys. I can't help that at the moment. Talking about games, curation process. Some of us hate it on the Quest, but I think when you play something like this, Waves of VR, I was like, that's the reason it's important. Like this game is bad. Like it's pretty bad. And mate, the language in it, I couldn't believe it. What I heard, you know what I mean? I heard the see you next Tuesday, and I was like, no way is that, and yeah, it's really bad. It's a free demo. I suggest you download it because it's so bad.
You're doing another
this
one
game
of
is
these
so
Plan
bad.
9s from outer space moments.
It is. It's just so bad that you've got
to play it.
You've got to check it out. Yeah, it's that bad. You've got to check it out.
Oh, the best bit is the people that. Yeah.
Hey?
The best people we get online are the people that actually defend bad games. Like I've suddenly, out of the blue from nowhere, had a load of people, even though I did it months ago, I've just had a load of people defending Warzone on PlayStation VR.
Really?
And it's just like, I mean, I even thought I'd turn around. I wasn't being nasty or anything. I was just saying, look, do you own stock in the company or do you have family working there? Because at least that would make sense for someone to defend the game.
Yeah.
Or defend the company.
Yeah.
And the person wrote back to me saying that he swore at me, and so I said, "You've insulted my family." And it's like, no, mate. I just asked if you had family working there. You're the one that's taking that as an insult that they are working there. So
that's right.
Which kind of confirms that it's a bad game.
That's what I took it as.
They actually agree.
That's what I took it as, man. That's how I took it as.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So, what you guys been playing, Nat? What you been playing this week?
Hardly any VR. I have got quite a bit of VR. I picked up Asgard's Wrath while it was on sale. I haven't touched it yet though. So I've taken advantage of the Vive port a few days ago. I've got a game to play. I'll most probably play it tomorrow. That's coming out Thursday. That I can't talk about because it's embargoed.
Yeah.
But to be perfectly honest, apart from a little bit of Stormland, because I thought I was close to the end of Stormland, I'm nowhere near the close end of Stormland. So I needed to carry on playing that. But to be honest, what's been taking up all my time is Persona 5 Royale. I've now literally put over 100 hours into it. Literally, virtually every waking minute, if I'm not watching something sort of like on Netflix or Amazon, is Persona 5 Royale. I'm just addicted to that game.
My boy just finished that.
Yeah, he's finished it.
Yeah, he's finished it for the second time. So he's obviously played Persona 5, and now he's got the special edition like you've got, and he's finished it again. I think it's about 3 or 4 days ago. It's crazy the amount of hours he puts into that game.
It's a very, very long game.
He loves it. As I said, he got mad respect for you, dude. As soon as he saw your video, he was like, he knows what he's talking about. That was it.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest JRPGs ever made. So.
There you go. So if you're looking for that, so you've been playing that. What about you then, Dane? What have you been up to?
To be honest, I was head down in Final Fantasy VII Remake for a long time.
I think a lot of people were.
For so many years. It's absolutely brilliant. Love it to bits. But then I did start to get back into the VR stuff. Played a bit more of that Swarm, which I'm doing the beta in at the moment, so I can't talk about that unfortunately. But just the fact that I'm playing more of it should give you an idea.
Nice.
Played Final Assault, PSVR. I really like that actually.
Yes.
At first it seemed quite simplistic, but then when you get to a hard level, you're like, I thank God for that simplicity, because it just goes crazy, and then you're just like trying to chuck your troops everywhere. And
is it in the EU store now then?
I don't think it is yet.
Right,
I got an A key. And I checked that out. My son really liked it as well. He was doing pretty well.
It's a really good game. And did you try online?
I didn't try online because, like as we were talking about earlier, PS Plus, my one ran out and I haven't renewed it yet. Right. I was like, I really wanted to play that online. I wanted to play Crisis Brigade co-op as well.
Yeah.
So I need to get that sorted out.
Yeah, actually, I need to do that. I need to check that out. It's supposed to be very good.
But yeah, Final Assault's really good. I really enjoy that. What else did I play? Do you know what? I keep on playing my Quest, which I don't know. I just really enjoy picking it up and playing it. It's 11 table tennis VR. It's like I really like table tennis. So, and because the Quest is so easy, like we talked about this before, you just plug it in, where you go. So easy to pick up and play. Played a little bit of Beat Saber. Checked out the Fitbeat song. That's pretty good. And then Pixel Ripped. But obviously we can't talk about that just yet.
No.
Yeah.
Not long. So what about you, South? What have you been playing?
Well, a bit of Automobilist 2, checking out how their updates are coming, because they are updating on a regular basis. But yeah, I think it's a still watch that space for that. It is getting better, but not quite yet. I have had a couple of issues though, because as anybody knows, and Monkeyfied was already said and gone on about, why don't I upgrade my wireless router? Because unfortunately, this cable has died on me, and one of the Oculus Link things that have actually come in this week is they built in a test for you to press the button in the PC app that will test your USB cable to see if they think it's suitable or not, which is going, no, it's unstable. And unfortunately, with you know what, Amazon is not classing USB cables as a necessity. And I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's a necessity for my VR.
Yeah.
So a little bit less on that. Some Half-Life Alyx still though. Horde mods and all that. But it's a little bit difficult with my network to do much of the racing because I get some lag spikes over my network if I try to use virtual desktop. And
a lot of boomers complained about the lag, to be fair.
Boomers suffer with lag with virtual desktop more than any other race.
Race.
The boomer race. Angry boomer yells at cloud.
Yeah, the hamster midlife is right. The hamster is chortling along at a rather slow pace inside of my router.
Sounds is like a tortoise anyway. He's all like, yeah, man. Yeah. Oh.
Those 20 joints he showed that he gets through.
That's it. So what we do now? What should we do? Should we do some news? Are we going for news?
Oh, you want that jingle bad, don't you? You want the jingle on?
Yes. Oh yeah, seamless. Oh Dane, he's got the news face on. He's ready.
News face.
Durban Brown. Ham, mind your ears. It is pretty loud. I did try and turn it down earlier a little bit. Hopefully it's a little bit quieter than before. By the way, Ham done a fantastic mixed reality video of what's the really good fishing game on Quest. What is it? What is
virtual real fishing real? But
it's something like the realist fishing.
Virtual real. Fishing.
Yeah, they are. It's bloody good. And anyway, he done a video, and he was sitting in a chair with a beer on the side of a lake, real VR fishing. And I tell you, it was a really good video. It looks so real. That game looks absolutely fantastic. It made me go back to my own video because I was thinking, have I covered this game enough? I should do maybe a couple more streams. But when I was watching my own video, I was thinking, man, the graphics in this game are superb. Like, they are very, very good. Who we got in the chat? Sorry if I've missed anyone. DX Falcon, how you doing? Digging the hat. It is out of necessity. More so. My hair's starting to look like. I think I'm going back.
Basically, it'd look like mine if you took it off.
It's getting longer and longer. I'm going to be one of the Bee Gees, I reckon, by the end of all this. Hello, Sharon, Cornerstone. Have I missed anyone else? I don't think so. Durban Brown.
Will your voice go up as high as the Bee Gees?
You almost what?
When he was like Sharon Cornerstone, I was like, Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone. So, anyway, this week, obviously going through the news and stuff, I read a really good headline on Upload VR, and it came from Ian Hamilton, and he wrote about how Facebook seems to be steadily turning the Oculus Quest into a more advanced platform with its updates, basically, all the time. And I think he's right. Like, I've been all over the place doing all the different things, and when I use the Quest today, you've got like the pass-through where you can actually have your home space. So I was sitting there, I've got all my menus, but I can actually see everything around the room at the same time. What else did we get? We got the space station, which is pretty cool. You can set up a Guardian now with hand tracking. And I was just like, it's really hard. They're really, in my mind, they seem to be really pushing the Quest all the time. They're really trying to really like push some juice out of that thing. They're squeezing it to do all kinds of magic things, and it makes it hard when we go back. I mean, it's been like 4 months we've had the discussion about what would you buy as your first VR headset, And and we were saying, if you've got a PS4, get a PSVR. But I can't help but think the Quest is starting to really pull ahead, and I think all these updates, in my mind, just empower that idea that the Quest is a fantastic standalone headset as it is, but also what a fantastic way to get into VR.
It's funny because like I think if you had someone that tried, I'd really be interested to know if there's anyone in the chat that's actually done this way around. Actually, like got a Quest first with no other VRs. Their first VR headset is a Quest, and then gone to PSVR. Because I got to admit, I struggle a little bit when I go from the Quest of, like I said, picking up 11 table tennis, plop it on, go anywhere, got some space, play, no issues with tracking. I was playing out in my garden the other night, and it got really dark. I didn't realize, and it was like pitch black, and somehow there must have been like a sliver of light somewhere. Because when I took a headset off, I couldn't really see, but somehow the tracking was still perfect. I played Beat Saber, I played Pistol Whipped, I was playing table tennis, no issues, and I was like, oh, it's got really late, it's dark. There's no issues. And when you go back to the PSVR, the tracking that you're like, oh, I've got to sort out the camera, I've got to either tilt it up or down depending on what's going on. The tracking falls around, especially if you turn around at all. The visual clarity isn't quite there like it is on Quest. It's not as clear, crisp. There's all these different aspects to it. Obviously, again, PSVR is amazing. It's got
it's the library. It's the That's the thing. I think that's the difference, isn't it? Is PSVR as a headset amazing, or is it the game library that is amazing? That's what what I'm saying. Because like when I use my PSVR now, and it's still comfy, it's still good. But Dane also makes a good point about resolution. It does look very sharp in the Quest. But the games coming out on the Quest as well. Like, PSVR's still getting some games, but half of them, dude, I'm like, I don't know. Like, how did they get on the store?
Well, this is what I said for like this year, and I think we all had it at the beginning of the year when they said PS5 is coming at the end of the year potentially. Like, it still might be on track, who knows, or early next year or whatever. It was like, well, they're all going to be focusing on that, and you can tell from like the CEO as well, his focus is going to be more on that than PSVR at this time. And their hardware is just not there to keep up with all the other games coming out on the other platforms. So we knew he was going to get a slew of maybe no games or old ports from PC VR, and that's exactly what's been happening so far. A couple of good ones I've come across, but there has been a lot of games that were probably good 2 or 3 years ago, and they're making it to the PSVR store now. And it's, and then you see it, and then if you look over to the side and you go, oh, well, that's coming out on Quest, that's coming out on PC VR, and PSVR's got 2-3 year old games. It's
and they're missing features as well. Some of the games are missing features that kind of made the game good in the first place. Final Assault for me is probably one of the best games on PSVR in the last few months. In terms of quality and gameplay, and the fact it's cross-platform and multiplayer. So, and you got to remember, this is from, all of us are very, I don't know, all of us know PSVR very well. We've all played PSVR a lot, played every single game that's worth playing on that platform. And I think it is that transition. I think we're in that transition period, isn't it? I think that's what we're witnessing now.
It is. It's also about how much power the current generation of PlayStation has in terms of delivering things. I mean, we have seen cases where games that are built for PlayStation VR and the limitations of the PS4 and the PS4 Pro have done it exceptionally well. Like I say, Wipeout is still the king of its field, regardless of it just being on PSVR. It is the king of that particular genre, and is perfect in VR. It uses that headset to its absolute maximum. Its clarity is spotless, so it can be really, really good. But it's starting to feel a little aged in that way. But there is more life in it yet. And
I think the game library, and that's the thing. Like when we done our top 20 at Christmas, that really showed me that not the best has been done, because we know that Sniper Elite's still coming, and Iron Man's still coming, but it's a bit. It feels like, has PSVR had its heyday? I don't know. I don't want that to happen because, as we said before, if you've got a PS4 and you could pick up a used PSVR for like £100 with a warranty, I would still say do it because there's some fantastic games there. But
it's a cheap way to get into some VR if you've got a PS4. And who doesn't? You know, there's so many people have a PS4 out there.
Oh yeah, millions.
I think price is a really good point actually, because like you're saying, Quest is still what, £400 or £600. Some people are selling
yeah, or more.
The stock's not.
Exactly. Well, at the moment, it's going crazy.
Pretty cheap. So on that space, then PSVR is still amazing.
Yeah,
it's virtual reality and it's super comfortable as well. You can't take that away from PSVR. The design of the headset is immaculate in terms of comfort. The Halo strap just works so well.
Yeah, they've been trying to copy it ever since, really, haven't they? They're all trying to do that. Yeah.
I don't know why everyone doesn't go, just do that one with a slight tweak. They go, let's just do, like, the Quest is uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I actually got my missus to try the Quest for the first time, like, ever. And she was just like, straight away, she's like, oh man, this is horrible. It's pulling my face. I was like, you just got to tweak it a little bit, twirl this bit. And I was like, I can't guide you because I don't know how it feels, but like, it will get better. And she was really enjoying playing it. She's like, this is really cool. She's playing Path of the Warrior. She's like, this is like Streets of Rage. But she pulled it off because she's like, it's just hurt my face. And that is a issue of the Quest, that it takes a lot of tinkering and tweaking just to get to sit comfortably on your head. Yeah. Whereas the PSVR, you can stick anyone on and it's boom, there you go.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I do think, looking at, and we will go through the chat in a second, because obviously this is without knowing it, I've opened up a can of worms, really. I think what it shows you, I mean, when you hear about the rumours of the Oculus Del Mar and the Jedi thing, you know, about the 30 hertz to 60 hertz tracking upgrade and all this stuff, I kind of think to myself, wow, PSVR 2 has got to be something quite special. Because I think Oculus, in my mind, at the moment, are really going for that.
They're going for the mass market.
They're going for the
capture.
Yeah, they're going for the advancements for the mainstream user. They're not being like a specialist headset of £3,000 or £2,000. They're going for that, you know, £400, £500, £600 ballpark figure, and they're still pushing it. And I think the Quest is a testament in my mind to that. You know, I think to myself, you know, every time, and I think like all these channels that didn't exist a year ago have come up purely really based on Quest news. I think a lot of people were just tubing, you know, hovering, not really doing much, and then they go Quest, and all of a sudden they're like, wow, everyone's loving the Quest, let's do Quest news. And it makes sense, and that's great, because at the end of the day, that just shows how much love there is out there for it in the community. It's interesting, you know, and I still think there's more PSVRs out there actually on the ground. I think there's more PSVRs sold than Quest, but I don't know. I don't know if that's still correct.
I don't think they've made enough Quests to be able to keep up yet.
Right.
Well, I don't think Sony have helped themselves in some ways, because the game that Salsa brought up, Wipeout, gave the perfect blueprint for Sony, which is the reason Wipeout was so good, and the team that made the PSVR upgrade, if you will, said the reason they did it is they used PS3 assets. That's one of the reasons why it looks so good in the PlayStation VR headset. And obviously, when they announced that, a load of us were starting to think, well, what other PS3 era games? Because Sony's PS3 era games are really good. Like the no-brainer to me was always a Resistance trilogy, like what they did with the Halo Master Chief Collection. They could have done that with Resistance. It could have been both for flat players, but also for VR. That you include all the multiplayer modes that were in it. You make it compatible with the aim controller. You know, it just was like an absolute no-brainer. So I certainly think in certain cases, Sony haven't helped themselves in terms of the range of games. And as Dane brought up, the issue you've also got is something like the older PC ports. So like the one thing I've noticed on PSVR channels that they're banking on, and I've played the game and I didn't think it was that great, was Gorn. You know, they're banking on, wait till Gorn comes out, this thing. And it's like, yeah, it's a fairly fun game, but it's really dated. It's a very dated game. And I think that's the problem that you got with Sony banking on a lot of PC VR ports, pulling them out of the fire. It's like VR is such a new kid, if you will, and it's moving on so fast with so many different things being brought. It's like, okay, these PC VR games that were really good, they ain't that good now. They're okay games, whereas a lot of the actual PlayStation VR games, like the top tier PlayStation VR games, are still top tier. Resident Evil 7 is still a top tier game. Rush of Blood is still a top tier game. So, you know, you've still got this range of PlayStation VR games that are still top tier. But yeah, so I think Sony.
It brings me on to my next point. Really, is like at the moment the mobile VR headset is the Quest really on the market. Everyone talks about that. We don't know its life cycle. We don't know if there's going to be one in 2 years, maybe 3 years. But what we do know is a console is 7+ years at the moment. That might shrink soon because of the way mobile phones are going and stuff. It might be 5-7 years, whatever. But then what happens? Because you're getting outdated even quicker.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Because
I don't see it going that way so much yet.
Because you're dedicating a virtual reality headset to a console that's got 7 to 10 years life. And I was watching a podcast the other day, and they were saying that they think the PS5 is coming too early. And I was like,
I think the PS5 is arriving around the right time.
I'm not. I think that as well.
It's arriving around the right time.
But there's But what I'm trying to say is, there's conversations out there of people saying, "I'm still happy with my PS4," but that headset is tied to that.
Yeah. So I'm going to develop a new one for that.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know. I mean, because at the end of the day, that is the only way of changing things, isn't it? Is to go right. Well, there's a PSVR 3 on the PS5. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
But they got to put a big enough window between, if they ever did that, like the next PSVR headset and the following one, they got to leave a big enough window, and that's how console developers like Sony have always operated. They've got that 7-year window. They couldn't suddenly change their thinking to go right, like we're doing with like Oculus, like bam, 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 and all the other VR headsets. Like I've never used one, and I know it's not really necessarily fondly spoken of, but like Pimax are like bam, 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 bam.
I don't
think that's the right thing to do, but
no,
VR headsets are like churning out. But like Oculus, you've got the Rift, and then you've got the Rift S, and you've got the Quest in a very short space of time, really, compared to consoles.
It's an early generation. That's the point. That the technology has actually evolved at a very rapid pace.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
What we're still managing to pull out in terms of technology is evolving at a very rapid pace when it comes to the headset. What isn't evolving at a rapid pace is the stuff that powers it in terms of computing power, graphical power. Those are still, that side of the technology is actually slowing down. So what I think you're going to see maybe with PS5 is you'll have the PS5 comes out, the PS2 will release, you might have a PS3 out before you get a PS6.
A PSVR 3 on a PS6.
Yeah.
I was getting. Yeah,
I got very confused.
I got him though. So let's quickly go through the chat. Hand trick. Go on. Sorry.
The thing is with PSVR 2 is people don't want to get too carried away, because at the end of the day, Sony have two things in mind when they bring out PSVR 2. First one is the price. They're not going to put an insane price on PSVR 2. So, like I've seen people sort of saying, oh, it's got to have this field of view and it's got to have this resolution. And it's like, I think sort of like, I saw some guy who was kind of comparing it to the Valve Index. And it's like, well, hold on. Do you know how much the Valve Index costs? There is no way in God's green earth that Sony are going to put that out. So it will have an improved field of view, obviously. It will have an improved resolution. It will most probably have inside-out tracking, because it definitely looks like that is the cheapest way to offer an improvement in tracking. But don't think you're going to be getting a Valve Index. Just assume that maybe it's going to be something like an Oculus Rift S, an Oculus Quest, and a little bit of an itineration there. The only thing that I think you might get is something very similar to the Valve Knuckles, that you might get a finger tracking controller that still has like joysticks and stuff like that on that. I can possibly see in that, because I don't think that would actually cost the earth. Because obviously, again, you're looking at least at 2021. I do believe Sony when they say they are still launching PS5 at the end of this year. I also believe them when they say the stock is going to be massively limited. So, I really hope that retailers do not allow people to order multiple PS5s. Sort of like you can order one. That's all you're allowed to order, because otherwise there's going to be a ton of them turn up on eBay for scalpers
we don't want
absolutely kill it.
Doing that. Yeah.
And I think in some ways, even though I've criticised Xbox for their policy with the Xbox Series X, if you look at it now, it actually doesn't seem that bad idea, because I think, again, they by default have kind of fell in that we're going to have a very limited supply of them, but there's not going to be any exclusive Xbox Series X games for a year or 2 years until after that console comes out. Whereas PlayStation 5 have already said, we're going to have an exclusive game. Because it's what they've always done. So
that's right.
People are going to want it. Whereas, sort of like I've got an Xbox I've got an Xbox S here. I've got no intention of upgrading that. Maybe in a few years' time, if Xbox can actually show me a reason to buy the Series X. But like I say, it's a very weird one. But I don't want people to get too carried away with, oh my God, the PSVR 2 is going to be this. It still has to come in. They still need to make a profit on it. They still need to bring it at a price. Don't get me wrong. Are there people out there that would be willing to pay £600-700 for PSVR 2?
Yeah.
Yes, but the majority of people won't. If you actually look at
because they've got to buy the console on top of that. That's the whole thing of the Quest, isn't it? The Quest is all in for the best, like 128 gig version, $499. Done.
But all you got to do is look at the Steam charts where it shows the consoles. Like the Pimax is on there, but it's like 0.15%. So yes, does somebody buy 2 or 3 grand headsets? Yes, but it's such a minuscule amount, and Sony can't have that. They can't. If that would be them pulling, all their hardware that they've pulled in the past that hasn't sold very well. They've supported PlayStation VR. That was always the big thing. Sony are going to abandon PlayStation VR. They haven't. Look, they've spent a lot of money to get hold of.
Well, PSVR brought us all here. PSVR. Someone put in the chat, the Quest is the driving force of VR. It is now. For me personally,
it wasn't then.
I think it was Oculus and whatever else before I got into it. Then PSVR come along, and because people had PlayStations, and the word PlayStation attached to VR is like, Jesus, what's this? You think of iToy and all the other stuff that obviously disappears, but you still remember that amazing time of like cleaning windows with the iToy. And as soon as I heard PlayStation VR, I was like, I've got to go to London. I've got to try this, and I absolutely loved it. And it'll always that is my doorway. The PSVR. I'm pointing at my PSVR headset, by the way. I love it. Don't ever think that I don't. I'm very grateful for what Sony have done, and I only hope, Nat's saying, I think they're going to do great things, but it makes me wonder on, like we was talking about, how it's going to be for people to get into it. A lot of PlayStation VR come at a time when a lot of people had PlayStation 4s, so now you're talking about a new headset with a new console, and I know PSVR is backwards compatible, but what I was talking about was moving on forward. What happens when Quest Nano, Quest 2, whatever you want to call it, comes out, and then in 2 years' time, for example, and then 2 years after that, Quest 3 comes out, and it's doing something else completely different. How does that then?
The competition stack up?
How does that sit on a fixed console? Because unless PSVR goes into the mobile headset business, you're tied to that bottom line, aren't you? As we know, some developers, when I interviewed Final Assault developers, they were like, they had their game running sweet, it was really good. They'd done it all on a Pro, and they were like, right, let's put it on the OG PS4, and it was like, pew! They were like, oh my God, what have we done? It's like going back to the drawing board because it has to work on OG first. It's got to be that way.
Yeah.
So they sort of developed it around the wrong way, and it knocked them back a long time.
That's why PS5 is not at the wrong time for release when it comes to PSVR, because PSVR still hasn't lived really up to its full potential.
The headset's brilliant. Still, it's the tracking is the main, and the move controllers. I think.
The move controllers are the biggest issue. Sony should have replaced the controllers years ago.
Oh man,
that's the biggest issue. I get what they managed to do and what they managed to get out of 10-year-old technology with the moves is pretty impressive. But it's like, like a lot of my issues have been with some of the games is I want a thumbstick. So, playing like Elder Scrolls Skyrim on through the Oculus Quest, through the Quest Link beta when I brought it on Steam. It's like, this is how I wanted to play Elder Scrolls. In the end, I had to play Elder Scrolls with a DualShock 4 because I just couldn't get on with the move controllers. But then suddenly it's like, I've got the touch controllers and I've got my joysticks. Yeah. I've got my controllers to move backwards and forwards. And there's so many games like that where it's just like, yes, what developers have managed to do in most cases with the moves is quite remarkable. But it would have been just so much easier for them to have a joystick on there and just say, okay, go ahead, go with it, just like you do with so many PC VR games. So that's, like I say, Sony haven't helped themselves in certain ways. The PlayStation VR could have been so much better for what it is. And to be honest, if they'd have had new controllers out, a year ago or a year and a half ago, it would have brought, and I've said this many times, it would have brought them so much more time. Because at the moment we are having this discussion, do you still get PlayStation VR? Without the controllers, or with the controllers with a joystick, it's like, okay, well, you can get the PC VR ports that will satisfy the PlayStation VR marketplace. At the moment, if they are coming over, they're either really old and they're dated, or boy, this thing really needed a joystick on it.
Yeah, like I think, like playing Final Assault, what was that? Good Goliath, and many other games. I think the resolution in the headset is fine if the game is optimized well enough. I can't argue with that. But yeah, I think the controllers are a massive issue. I think tracking can work, but like someone was saying in the chat, you need that space. You need that ideal setup. You dare not move the camera. There's all these different things that come into it. But yeah, let's quickly go over some chat. Hello, Alex VR. How you doing? Midlife says at the moment it'd be the Quest. Hand tracking his courses, MC Magic Tutorials. Clueless Dad Gamer. What did you say earlier? He says I did that, and I'm assuming that's in relevance to what you said, Dane, about I want to meet someone who's bought a Quest and then maybe bought something else. Do you remember what you said earlier?
PSVR.
Oh, right.
If anyone started with Quest and then moved on to PSVR and their thoughts on it.
Yeah, I don't know if he's put that in the chat. That's Clueless Dad Gamer, by the way. Mike Sparky the Game Cat. If you have a powerful enough PC, would you get a Quest or a Rift S? If I had a powerful enough PC, it's tough. And this is only because of it'd be the Rift S because you don't need any modifications.
Yeah,
it's super
I still
comfy.
have to go back to the thing of, do you travel around a lot? If you move around a lot, then the Quest is still much better. If you're going to be at home playing PC games a lot more, then Rift S for sure.
Yeah, I would probably go the Rift S. If I already had a PC, I would go Rift S.
Saying that, I'm not buying a Rift S on the next thing. I'm buying an Index.
There you go. JG Drifted Harbour. Quest is a driving force of VR. I do believe that is what it is now. Clueless Dad Gamer. Got a PC to work on my Quest and find that a virtual desktop is fantastic with Half-Life Alyx. Excellent stuff. Zip on. I've gone from PC using Alyx to Quest. Superb. Eric Hartley. PSVR is great hardware with great software. TGK. I haven't booted up my PSVR for ages, and I know TGK is a lover of PSVR. Same as, man. Like if I get a new game to play or a developer to support, I'll play the game, check it out. But as of late, 50 or 60% of what is there, I don't want to check out at the moment. So that's just me, that's what I feel like doing. MG Magic Tutorials. Hand tracking does not work. Water Wizards. No, I can't wait to check that out. Absolutely looks fantastic. And that was one of their, I think, advertisements back at OC6, wasn't it? It was one of the trailers, I think, something like that, was with the hand tracking when they showed it off, was in Walter the Wizard.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, what else have we got? Mick McGlown, haven't switched on my PSVR in over 6 months since getting Oculus. Wow, 6 months. Sharon, I love Blood and Truth. Yes, that's a wicked game. It's an amazing game.
Brilliant game, yeah.
6 months, wow. Buck, I'd say Red Out beats Wipeout. I can't agree with you there. I played Red Out for about 10 minutes and I was like, Wipeout's still...
It's not as good as Wipeout.
Wipeout's still one of the best.
I know it's an opinion base, and Buck, you're wrong.
Alex VR, I've played hundreds of hours of Firewall. Firewall is one of the best games on PSVR. It's absolutely amazing.
Because of the aim controller.
Cornerstone said, yeah, the aim controller, yeah, literally that answers most of the things that we're talking about, doesn't it, really? It's got the joysticks.
Yeah. Well, you've got the aim controller, joysticks. I mean, obviously, PC side, you can have Pro Tubes and stuff like that, but they do cost.
Yeah, for sure. Cornerstone said if Sony converted PS3 games to VR, it would have given it more life. Even some classic PS2 games, Zone of the Enders, come to PSVR. And I thought that looked fantastic in virtuality. I really did. It was it looked amazing. I really hoped they'd do more of that.
That was another one where it was initially out on PS2. They did a HD remaster for PS3, and the likelihood is Zone of Enders used the PS3 models for the VR side of it. So, like I say, Sony haven't helped themselves because you know that they've spent the money. And I just think in some cases they haven't spent it wisely. And like I say, just think of all the PS3 games that could use an aim controller. And you're just like, oh my God, I could have played this, I could have played this, I could have played this. I mean, to be honest, the easiest thing is them work, because obviously they got a very good working relationship at the moment with Activision, is make Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Sony pay for the VR upgrade on that. I mean, could you imagine playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare with the aim controller? That just sells PSVR headsets by itself.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So, in some cases, like I say, yes, Sony have spent the money. You can't discount that. And I say, a bit like you guys, I do love my PlayStation VR headset, but now it's starting to drag a bit. And to be honest, a lot of the games recently that I've played, I've had more enjoyment because of the DualShock 4 or because of the aim control. It's very rare now that I'm having fun with a game that uses Move controllers.
It's horrible, isn't it? I feel terrible talking about it, but it is.
We've moved on to the younger model, basically. That's what it sounds like today.
It does. So that brings us on to our more. Let's go for some more news. Let me just get a video up to support it as well, because I've pretty much lost where it was. And it's interesting because obviously the hype at the moment is fitness apps. Looking after you.
One, isn't it?
Yeah, so let's talk about it's the weird one, innit? That's a way of talking about it.
I'm not into fitness anyway, but a subscription model, it's just like, okay.
You Got Cold Yogurt says Pavlov Onward Firewall, which is the best. I would actually say, for me, I haven't really played enough Onward, so there's also Contractors as well. Out of all the ones I've played so far, it would actually be Pavlov, because I love the variation. I love all the different stages and community-based levels. I love all that. I love revisiting some of my favourites like GoldenEye in VR and shooting people in Legend of Zelda. I think that's amazing.
For me, even just playing a little bit of Pavlov on the Quest through side quest, so it's not even a good version of it really.
But
I enjoyed that more than Firewall, purely on the basis that Firewall is great for a strategic game, but I'm not that strategic when it comes to games. I just like running in and gunning, and that's personally why I prefer Padlock, because you can do that silly stuff. You can run in, shoot up, die, come back, keep doing it. Firewall is, you really got to concentrate, so you got to be in the right frame of mind and enjoy that type of game. If they'd had more game modes, like TDM or something like that, I think that would have really branched out massively. And I'm still to this day a little bit confused why they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I spoke to Frank a little bit about it, and I think he basically said it's too hard to do. Right. These updates. I don't really know anything about developing a game, so. But the one thing I always wanted was rounds, because the worst thing about Firewall, and to be fair, it's had a bumpy history with updates. You know, there's been times when an update comes out, and I'll be like, everyone's really stoked, and you go to live stream it, and then it's like, it's not working. There's no,
Nada.
I can't get a match. You might get one in an hour, and you know, and it's tough to promote and support when it does things like that. But I mean, they brought lots of content. The maps are fantastic. The maps are absolutely brilliant in Firewall. I absolutely love them, and I know what Buck's saying. Yeah. It is really good, Firewall. But that's when it works. When especially if you've got a private game, if you can do a private lobby and get 4v4, that's wicked. Like, that is when, to me, Firewall is superb. Like, that's when.
But you don't gain any XP.
No.
In the game, do you? Which is the problem with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do it, but then there's no ability to upgrade and stuff like that. So you're just playing the game to play the game, not to kind of advance your character, not to gain new bits and pieces for it. So that's the drawback.
I think the issue for me, again, I think it's an amazing game, and it still is one of the best PSVR games. And with the aim controller, it is amazing. However, if you're not that good at it, it's really quite boring, because you can go in, like when you start off, you go into a match, you get shot, you're dead, then you got to sit there. You got to sit there for ages, and then and like you said, the bumpy history. At times, then you go into a lobby and sit there for ages, disconnect. Do you know what I mean? Like, technical issues paired up with the fact that gameplay for you can last 20 seconds potentially every 5-6 minutes.
That was the main problem.
If you had that base game, but you can actually, like I said, do TDM, and if you're crap or not, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You can still get in, play. I think there's probably a few people. Actually, I know there's a few people that just got into it a bit late, and they've come up against pro players, just owning the lobbies, and it's like, I can't even play this. I played 4 matches in a row. It took 2 hours to do that, and I lost every time after 10 seconds. Yeah. So they're just like, I'm done. Whereas if you've got, like, you know, TDM or something, you just keep going. You can still have fun with it. Anyway,
there's a lot of issues that they made with Firewall 0 Hour. Going peer-to-peer server but not having a host migration was absolutely insanity. They definitely don't have a matchmaking system. I mean, they can't have a matchmaking system, otherwise you don't run into that situation where you have top end players. And I've gone, you know, I've jumped back in there and jumped in, and literally you see the level of the other players, and it's just like, I'm going to get murdered here. Yeah, you know, I'm not even going to survive. And it's like there must be people.
Do they even have clans on Firewall? Can you even have a clan name? I know. I was like, when I jumped in there, I was like, all right, I'm going to make a loadout and call it. Oh no, I can't. I can't call it anything. I was like, all right, we'll get a clan going. I know you can't. It's like there's certain things you have to sort of go, all right, I'll deal with that. Okay, yeah, I'll accept that, because the game is fun, and with the aim controller, it is very good. But yeah, anyway, moving on. I don't know how people are getting on in the chat, but we need to get this thing moving. Supernatural, the Oculus Quest fitness app. Developer, where are we? It aims to give you a fun, fast and intuitive cardio workout in VR. It's a subscription-based app, and it launches on the 23rd of April, or it should be. It includes new workouts published daily at a discounted introductory rate of $20 a month, as well as a free trial to see if it's right for you. Hold on. I don't know what is it if that's the introductory rate. And then so what exactly do you get with this virtual gym membership? According to the Oculus blog post, Supernatural melds together VR rhythm game mechanics, and as Mrs. GT pointed out, it looks like Beat Saber. And considering Oculus own Beat Games, Beat Saber. That doesn't look right to me when I see that. In a way, it looks a bit weird. You get daily personalized full body workouts, expert coaching from real world trainers, and music from popular artists, all of which is set in a variety of photorealistic landscapes. So, what do you think of my presentation for this? I've brought it. Pretend I've brought it to you. I've brought it to you. Yeah, you're the board of directors, right? And this is my idea.
Your presentation is very, very good.
Thank you.
Number one, all of these games in VR and everything else like that do have space requirements, and not everybody's got the space to do that one. Physical games in particular, I've had a particular problem with a lot of people going, here's our new workout game. And there's a huge amount of workout games out there already. So when someone goes, here's a new workout game, try it out, I'm sort of like, can I make that game work in a limited space? And I'm looking at that and going...
But it's all the rage, dude. Like, you got to remember, yeah, you're buying into my idea now, yeah? It's all the rage. Everyone's stuck at home. Yeah, they need to keep fit. They're going in their gardens. People like GT have got a bench and weights now, and he's training, but he misses the gym and he misses that social interaction, which I think VR can give you. I mean, look, you're standing over like massive mountaintops, swinging bats. You can't do that in your kitchen or in your, you know. That's what VR's all about, you know, and that's why.
Oh yeah, I do get that.
Yeah. So I want to know.
I'm sort of like, number one is just if some people won't get into that because of they have some space restrictions in their play space.
But it's on the Quest, so technically, yeah, you could
go anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So your idea is a little bit like, I see what you're saying. You just don't want to invest in my idea.
Overrule.
You don't want to invest in my idea. That's fine. That's fine.
No,
so,
no, I'm out.
He's out. Dane, anyone else? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's like loads of fitness apps already. This one is trying to set itself apart by saying, I think, did it say it's got like, you can have personal coaches? Is that right?
Yeah.
As you play. So what, I haven't looked into this too much, but I didn't know if it's like a pre-recorded gym instructor basically just screaming at you like, slice faster or whatever it is, duck down, look left, I don't know. Or if it's someone live with you, a very personal experience, like a literal coach is talking to you one-on-one at the time you're doing your workout, you schedule them, all this sort of stuff. I don't quite know which one of those it is.
Right.
But and some of the other things I saw was like it's going to have like official licensed music and all this sort of stuff, music for the soundtrack. But for $20 a month, I don't get it.
That is a lot.
It's
that
crazy.
Is a lot for.
Yeah, but it's updated daily. Did you not listen to what I told you? It was updated. I'm not quite sure yet.
With what? I mean,
they haven't told me.
Yeah, there's going to be different modes in there, I'm guessing, and it's like I say, there are the apps that are available. When it comes to movement, they implement and make you move in different ways, essentially.
Yeah.
So Beat Saber's movement is different from Wave Riders and things like that, where it makes you move in a different way. And I get that. But how much of that are you going to bring? How much of a difference to that type of motion are you going to bring for that $20?
Listen. Let me say a word, right, that you might not have seen yet. Dynamic. Yeah? Now that is a bloody cool word, which basically just means choice, really. This dynamically changes in difficulty. Yeah.
You know what, GT, right? Apart from this being a heart attack simulator that was actually going to create a heart attack in me, for $20 a month at the end of the workout, it better give me a massage with a happy ending at the end of it, mate.
Oh no. Oh no.
Because that's the only way I'd pay $20 a month for it.
Jesus.
Will's waiting for the old what film was that's a Full Metal Jacket moment, isn't it? Damn.
I think like when I saw $20, I was very surprised. The only reason
Yeah.
in my head when I read that, I thought personally, like, would it be genuinely live coaches? And what I mean is, like, in like AltSpace or VR Chat, you could actually have a avatar train you. There's people in AltSpace that go to yoga classes. If you genuinely had someone's time in that, you booked classes with a real person, then I could actually see something of it. Unfortunately, we haven't seen anything other than swinging the baseball bats. That's just so similar.
Yeah.
This
is what I mean. Like, if you had, you're limited to what you can do, the type of movements you can do. It's all got to obviously be body resistant stuff. Whether it's going to get you jumping on the floor, doing press ups and squats and all that sort of stuff. Is it literally just going to be someone live screaming at you? No, slice through that block faster. That wasn't a straight cut, you loser. Yeah. Go back and do it again.
I needed that in an Arnie voice.
You could probably arrange that yourself with your friends. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not the same. It's never going to be the same as having someone there. It would be quite funny if it's got a real life avatar that when you're in the game, they're standing there as well. Not just a voice. Standing there, like, screaming and shouting at you. Don't look at me. Look at the blocks. Look at me. You know what I mean? You're like, he's like, follow what I do. Look at the blocks. What do?
Savage.
But yeah, like the price model, like obviously that's the biggest thing. If this price model
was introductory. That is an introductory. Like, what is it going to be?
We'd barely be talking about this if there was no price model, right? But a subscription price model. That just automatically piqued my interest, like everyone, right? Good or bad. We just went, ooh, subscription. What does that mean? What's that going to look like? Because no game's done it yet. And your sense introductory as well. People are scoffing at $20. Don't worry, it goes up.
Yeah, that's it. I'm surprised there's not a joining fee. Do you know what I mean? Slapped on it as well. Do you know what else gyms do? We haven't done this, but
there's going to be loot boxes in terms of now you can unlock using your left hand.
Do you know what? We sell this stuff, and we don't know if it's really cool. I mean, that lady swinging around baseball bats. What about if you could change them into chains, and you could be like Kratos from God of War and stuff? I mean,
it's just for all the IP licenses, I think.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, it could be really cool.
Lightsabers, Kratos chains.
It could be really cool. Like, I'm definitely going to do the free trial. There's no two ways about it. I'm definitely going to do the free trial. And,
is there a free trial? I didn't even know there was a free trial.
Yeah, there's a free trial.
See, you should have opened with the free trial.
I said about it. I was just trying to get to the word dynamically. Yeah.
You just said dynamically free. With the word dynamically.
It's just
sounds like it's got a dynamic pricing model.
It's a really good word.
It's $20 at a start, or also free, but you could pay $20, and then it's going to go up to $100.
So JD has brought up a really good point. He's put how much are gym memberships now. Where I live, right, there is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week gym, which is actually very good. Yeah, Buck, that's never going to get on here, mate. I don't know what protection you have on your channel, but that would never work, unfortunately. What was I going to say? He's at £13.99, so £13.99. Maybe I think it might have gone up to like $15.99, but still, that is a 24/7 real gym with equipment. It's it's very clean, very hygienic. So, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like, and then it goes up to another gym that I've been to that is Ballantyne's, and that is could be potentially some people pay £56 a month. So
yeah,
it's massively all over the place.
Yeah, before
it's dynamic. It's dynamic.
I don't think you can compare the two. Like, I think this is where my first thought was like, oh, you could do this, but pay a gym membership, or you could do this. But then you can't compare the two because you've got weights, you've got treadmills, you've got elliptical machines, you've got everything, right? You've got loads of floor space. You can go get away or meet up with friends if you want, have spotters, all that sort of stuff. This your body exercises. I get VR, I get beautiful landscapes. Like, you can get, like you said, get to the top of that mountain, do the Rocky scream, Drago, and then slice through Drago's face. Actually, now I'm getting really interested. If you could have boxing gloves and you've got Ivan Drago's face coming at you, and then you've got, I don't know, Apollo Creed there just screaming at you, to punch him faster.
Yeah,
got all these IPs, then I'm sold.
Yeah.
If you get Arnie live coaching me, done.
The other thing is, right, with the training I do or have done, this is a cardio-based workout. This is just cardio. For me, in my gym life, cardio is a small percentage of what I enjoy doing. And I don't think anyone can argue that VR makes cardio and working out actually. Well, I don't know. Actually, Nat's here. I don't know why I said that. If Nat can pretend he didn't hear me, VR makes working out fun. It does. It does. There's no, Nat. Do you want to just get it out of your system? Just pistol whip, dude. You like pistol whip? That's a workout.
You know what? I'm really glad that your missus managed to pick up that word of the day, toilet paper, because you're using the word dynamic as if it was the one that was sitting there. Oh, you're taking the time today. I'm going to be waiting to use that word.
Yeah, just mate. People do it at my work. If something's moving, and they're trying to impress someone, they go, "Yeah, it's dynamic," and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, whatever." So yeah, it's where was we? Yeah, I don't know. I've lost it now completely.
I think basically
working out in VR is more fun than doing normal.
Yeah, it is.
Cardio.
But that needs more. That needs more to impress enough to be worth that amount.
But it also needs to work like
can already do it. It does make it more fun, and we're already doing it with Pistol Whip, with Beat Saber, with O-Shape, with Simple Riders. Many other ones as well.
I'm assuming
and that's the thing. What is this bringing? So the only thing that seems to pique to see it looks like it's different is that you've got this personal trainer kind of side of it. But we still don't quite know if that's just pre-recorded, someone screaming at you.
It's got to be.
Come on, pump your arms. It's not going to be live one-on-one because they don't know how many people are going to buy it or buy into this. So it's got to be pre-recorded
you
classes.
say that. I mean, this is one of the things. Okay, I see it as an aerobics thing as well. So you see it with aerobics classes, you see it with yoga classes, you see it with spin classes, where you have different people who are good at motivating people in different ways. And like there's some of the spin classes, there are like instructors who literally at the moment over Zoom get paid huge amounts of money just for people to come in their Zoom spin class. And they are literally just putting them through the ringer and shouting out to whatever music and stuff like that to work that in that way.
Yeah.
But
it's a good point.
I don't know.
But
yes, Buck, I have been to a spin class before. Thank you very much. I used to be.
Oh my god.
Before pre-Boomer Salsa. Pre-Boomer Salsa was into spin classes.
Before I had a load of medical issues.
Pre-Boomer.
I used to go to the gym every morning, 5 times a week for swimming in the morning.
Ooh.
I used to do about 3 nights worth of dancing, and I used to do 3 to 4 nights in the gym as well. So I was pretty hardcore on the gym side of things.
No, Monkified, don't do this. Thank you ever so much for the donation. But there's no way that he's put. So thank you ever so much. GT, this is the thing with Super Chats. GT, is that a COVID cut? Hold on, do you want to do it in your voice? Are we still keeping that going? I don't know.
Oh, right, sorry. I was just busy listening. There we go. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
See this.
Thank you.
GT, is that a COVID cut under that hat? I'll donate £20 to a charity of your choice. If you do the skinhead and stream it, I dare you, loser, do it.
Unfortunately, we'll have to be isolated that a little bit longer for that to possibly happen. I'm not saying it's out of question, but just give me some more time, okay? I just need time to adjust to doing anything like that. But thank you ever so much for the donation, dude. And thank you to everyone for the stay-at-home stream charity we did the other week. Still waiting for the super chats to come through because a lot of people donated big amounts on super chat, so I need to wait for that to go into my banks, then I can transfer it into the charity, and then I will let you know what the total amount was. So yeah, moving on, let's talk about another game by Resolution Games. It's called Blaston. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can get this quickly going here. Let's have a look. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have you heard of this one?
Heard of it, but I've not seen anything about it yet, to be honest.
Right. Okay. So let's take a look at this quickly. So there you go. That is Blaston. Let's get some information on this game, which there is none. There's no news on the headsets or the dates.
Well, Boy Brown picks up exactly the sort of thing that we just said. It looks like Iron Lights with guns.
Yeah, that is what we said basically. It does look like Iron Lights with guns.
And then Buck, and then is it all in slow-mo as well? So yeah.
Yeah, it does look like in slow-mo. It is actually, yeah, like when I saw it and what I said off camera was it just looks like Iron Lights to me. And I just wanted to know what everyone thought about it because I saw it was getting a lot of attention. Resolution Games do some fantastic stuff. I think Akron is a real gem on the Quest actually. I think it's really good. And if you haven't played it before, it's where if you're on the Quest, you're the tree, and you got to protect your nuts from invading hordes of squirrels of different attack types as well. They have like a tank feature, the fast one, do you know what I mean, the one that burrows, and they use the mobile apps to play with you. And I'll tell you what, it was really cool. I was streaming it one day,
really good game.
Chucked my stream onto Reddit, and people on the Quest Reddit were just playing with randoms, and it was really good fun. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it because it's from those developers in particular. So yeah, are you guys looking forward to that? What do you think?
Very colourful. I do like some of the neon colours. I like the cyberpunk type neon colours and all of that. It could be interesting. I mean, it looks like it's got some of that, I am Neo movement, dodge the, shotgun bullets, they fly into pieces moments possibly in there.
Yeah.
Don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, I
more
saw some people
needed.
Yeah, I saw some people get really excited about it, and I was like, "Oh, what's this all about?" And I watched it, and I was like, "I don't know." Like, I sort of wasn't hyped really. In one way, I want to be, but I think I need to know more about it and get my hands on it. But yeah, I didn't really.
It looks very pretty.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, Iron Lights has sort of already just come out and done what looks like that, just without weapons, like as in guns. It's done it with weapons. So
yeah, I'm the same. Like just watching the trailer, I'm just like, cool. And then it's just gone from my head. It's gone already.
That is pretty much it.
There's nothing to grab onto with that at all.
Yeah, I get you, man. I get you. That's exactly where I was. What about you, Nat? You stayed amazingly quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched it, and it's like, okay, a bit like with Dane. It's like, yeah, there's nothing there that's really sort of made me, sort of open my eyes and sort of say, oh yeah, that might be interesting. It's just like, yeah, okay, it's just another game.
That's a game.
I've got plenty of other really good games that I haven't played yet. There's nothing about this one that's like, yeah, I'm gonna give this one a try.
Yeah, Buck just brought up a really good point. But this might not even be the engine of the game. It might just be a pre-rendered trailer. So,
that's what I thought. It does look like a pre-rendered trailer. I didn't even assume it was gameplay, to be honest.
Now, do you remember like back in the day when nearly every trailer for a game was pre-rendered cutscenes, and then you got it on the PlayStation, and there was like the CD amazing intro. And you're like, wow, and then you got to the gameplay, and you was like, ooh, what happened there? It's like, but so next, Echo Arena. Are you guys involved or been invited to or part of or anything to do with?
I completely forgot to sign up, to be honest. And I keep forgetting to sign up, so yeah.
I've got it. Obviously got it for the Rift because it's a free game. I've got it for the Rift. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't bothered signing up for the Quest. Again, it's just a matter of timing. You know, and to be honest, if I want to try it, I'll try the Rift version. If I enjoy the Rift version, then I'll pick it up for the Quest.
That's where I'm at.
Free. I'm not really. Again, there's nothing that's like, oh,
hold on.
I want to jump into the beta.
Is it going to be free on Quest then?
Well, Echo Arena is a free game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this is going to be free.
I didn't even clock that because I have got Echo Arena and I can't remember if I paid for it or not.
No, it's free.
No, it's free.
That's one of the first things I downloaded.
Echo Arena part is free. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, because it was the multiplayer of Lone Echo, wasn't it? Basically,
it's the multiplayer of Lone Echo, and Arena is free.
Yeah, they've removed that as well. Like if you go into Lone Echo now, it basically says you cannot access it from Lone Echo. You have to download Echo VR separately. So yeah. Oh, okay. So Buck has put Echo Combat is $7.99. What's Echo Combat? Is that the same game?
I have no idea. I can get onto the Oculus store.
Yeah, it's slightly different, isn't it now?
I think there are 3 Echo games on there. So.
Yeah, is it Echo Arena? As far as that's what I would call it.
Yeah, the Echo VR that's coming on the Oculus Quest is Echo.
Oh,
Arena.
Echo Combat $7.99. Echo Arena is free. Yeah, so it's free. Crazy. I thought on the Quest for some reason you'd be paying for it. Don't know why, but yeah, and it looks like the dates are sort of spread out a bit. I know some people have got their emails like a few days ago, and they'll be testing it tomorrow. I got my email 2 days ago, and my date is for the 21st, not the 20th. So some people will be on there, and obviously maybe that's because the servers, they're going to try and ease them in, figure out where they are and who's actually playing. I'm assuming that's what it is, unless it's all region-based testing, but I don't think that would be the case. I think it'd be more about
yeah. It's sorry for us for saying, yeah, Echo Combat is Arena with guns.
That's
Echo
good.
Arena is a sport type thing with the disc where you've got to get that disc in.
It's got a big following as well, isn't it? It's like it is an e-sport, isn't it?
It's got a proper good following.
Yeah.
On the PC side, there's a lot of dedicated people or players out there. So.
Yeah, man.
If it brings that to the Quest and it's crossplay, if that's crossplay across a network with PC players, then that would be absolutely amazing and would actually pull the bar up, because as soon as you increase that with a game that's good, it'd be really good.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry.
Go on.
I was just going to then move on to the Half-Life Alyx mods. I wonder if anyone... I know someone in the chat said earlier they've been checking them out. I wonder if any of you guys, because I know, apart from Dane, I do apologise.
Half-Life's crap anyway, so I'm not even bothered.
Yeah, it's crap, mate. Honestly, no, it is. It's rubbish, don't it? You're not missing anything. But for the rest of you who have got Half-Life Alyx, have any of you checked out the mods? And funny enough, the very first mod that made it into a wave shooter, pretty much, I think that's what it is, isn't it? Or horde mode. Horde mode. But
yeah,
it does remind me of wave shooter a little bit. I think there's a bit of a thing, to be honest. But anyway, if I actually said to someone now, there's a wave shooter in VR, I don't think people get excited about anything like that anymore. So when I saw the videos for it, I was like, I know it's Half-Life, but I'm still not that interested. I like Half-Life for the story. Do you know what I mean? That's my thing. I love that journey. But then they done the Wolfenstein mod. That come out. And that is actually pretty cool.
That's only one level of...
It's only one
level of Wolfenstein.
It is. But it was just really cool to go in there.
I think what's important about mods and Half-Life is a mod in Half-Life from the past. They started out as one little thing, and they snowballed and turned into something really big. Like CSGO started as a mod.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. CSGO is now one of the biggest esports in the world.
Yeah.
You've got so many people play it for huge amounts of money and things like that.
Yeah.
The horde mode that is just now could later take on an entirely different shape. But one of the things that was missing from Half-Life Alyx as a game is just having to shoot more things in rapid, constantly.
Sorry.
It was good.
It's cool. I just transitioned you by accident. I do apologise.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, dear.
I just saw your face for people listening back to this on the audio only podcast.
Yeah, I just literally flipped you over
He
by
literally
accident.
just pulled the grimace face.
I did. I pressed the wrong button. So we did touch on it a little bit earlier. Was Pixel Ripped 1995 is coming next week. Is it the 23rd release date? I think it is.
I think it is.
Shall we quickly pop over to the trailer?
Yep.
And then talk about it afterwards.
Huh? What happened? David? Was that you?
In 1995, Pixel Rift is back. Face the mighty power of 16-bit enemies. The struggles of a 9-year-old boy.
Dave. Oh, right. David.
And the ruthless battle of console fanboys.
Turbo Drive is better. That's it. Real gamers need power. Power system is for squares. Cool kids go turbo. Power system. Turbo Drive. Power system. Turbo Drive. Power system. Turbo Drive. Hey, Dora.
Join Dora and help her save the multiverse from the evil Cyberling Lord. Pixel Rift 1995.
That's it. I'm sorry, but I need to protect you from your bad choices.
Get ready.
Don't worry, baby. Mommy's coming for you.
And there we have it. That is the trailer for Pixel Ripped 1995, the successor to Pixel Ripped 1989. And Buck said he's going to upset some people, saying he didn't enjoy Pixel Ripped. Boy Brown says him neither. Crazy, man. Like, yeah, fair play though.
I get that. So
let's talk about it.
People out there.
Let's talk about. We can't talk about 1995, but we can definitely talk about 1989.
No, we can talk about the past. We can talk about 89, and for not everybody out there likes the super hard to complete old school retro,
Well, no,
games.
that wasn't my issue with 1989. I was enjoying 1989 right up until that last level because it has a massive difficulty spike. So the game itself doesn't have a slow, gradual difficulty spike to get you to that last bit. What it has is a fairly simple, straight line difficulty spike, and then suddenly it goes up like it's Mount Everest right up until that last bit. That last bit, almost brought me to tears because I didn't think I was going to be able to complete the game. Did you
do it though? Did you complete it?
I did finally complete it, but I mean, it took me so long to do it, and it was just. Some people sort of say, "Oh, there's this sense of accomplishment. You've beaten it finally." I was just relieved it was done. I wasn't going to play the game anymore. It was just like, I'm done with this. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure I've read interviews with Anna and the Arbol team, and they even said the difficulty spike on that last level just came out of nowhere. It did come out the blue. And hopefully they've learned from that, because I haven't got a problem. If you want to have a difficulty spike, and the final boss is meant to be really hard, there's meant to be this gentle difficulty spike. So as you get into it, it doesn't seem like it's insanely hard.
Yeah, there's meant to be like a period where oh, that's harder. Now that's
that's harder.
Now,
That's harder. And
I do
didn't get
agree
that.
with you. I do agree with you. I think because
So
what was
I'm
hard.
hoping they fix that.
What was hard prior to that was the platforming. That's one thing. Like there was things where you die, but then that end levels they were tough. I was very surprised. I'm pretty good at games, and I was just like, this is hard. Like, and I knew as soon as I read some of the other chats that I'm in, the guys were like moaning, like because they want to get their review out or they want to get the video out, and they're like, I can't finish it. I can't do it. And I was just like...
It's a weird thing for me, I think, because I was the reverse. Some of the earlier levels was getting me. The last level, I actually went through as a breeze. It took me 2 tries.
Oh, God. That boomer attitude. You go through hell, boys, keep going.
The whole game with my eyes closed.
No, but I mean, the early game,
pissed.
I found really, really hard. I found the earlier parts in the game, some of the earlier parts in the game was hard for me to pass. When I got to the final level, I actually passed that really easily, which is really weird to me that so many people ended up with a hard time on the end level and found the earlier levels easier.
That's just a boomer's point of view. That's just... You wouldn't know any different. It's just...
So the only one I remember from the earlier game that I found challenging was like a Battletoads kind of homage section, isn't it? It's like almost like a clip from the Battletoads games when you're in the water on a handheld device or something.
There's loads of homages.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I love about it as well.
Yeah.
But I did find that was a big spike at the end. But I really like that, and I don't like hard games. I don't play games like Dark Souls because they're so ridiculously hard. I enjoy that challenge. I don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I did like that because I was like, whoa, this is the big boss. You really got to concentrate now. It's something, that slow spike you get in most games, because it's that curve, I don't necessarily feel that. I normally complete games on the last boss and I'm like, well, he's just a slightly bit harder than the last one. And I don't normally die in a lot of games. It's not because I'm good, it's because a lot of games are catered that way now to do that slow curve.
Yeah.
And I still enjoy it because this is like I said, an homage to retro gaming. They didn't play nice with you. They was like, we've got a game that lasts 30 minutes. We've got to make people play this for months. They're going to have to retry 4,000 times to complete this game.
Yeah.
And I do like looking back on those days, and that's what this game is all about, that homage back to retro gaming and stuff. So that spike at the end, I was like, oh, took me by surprise. It was frustrating at first, but it didn't take me too many tries, but I thought it was quite nice, actually.
Yeah, I liked it. When you watch this trailer and you've seen it, there's definitely hints to many older games again. From memory, I'm trying to think about the games that were in Pixel Ripped 1989. There was definitely a reference to Zelda. Definitely. And they were 8-bit games as well, weren't they? It was 8-bit games.
You had Ghost Ghouls, you had things like Zelda, you had the Mega Man.
What was that, sorry? Battletoads, yeah.
Battletoads.
I literally had a full playthrough of it
all of those.
last week, I think it was, and I think I completed it in an hour and 30 minutes, which I was really pleased with because I was expecting a nightmare.
The other side of that, if you take it away from the core gameplay, was the Inception moments. The sort of like, I'm in VR, then I'm doing something in a retro game, then I've gone through a retro game to come into reality while I'm in virtual reality, to go back into virtual reality into a futuristic VR game.
And it looks like they've doubled down on that again, haven't they? It's not just you sitting in a room playing a game. You're sitting in a room which is like almost living, breathing. Things are going on around in that room. And you're right, it is an Inception moment, because I tend to find, one thing I've always said about VR is, or I noticed anyway, is that you forget sometimes where you are when you go into it. So, and I remember that was the first thing that happened with me at PSVR. Maybe I was just so hyped and excited that I put that headset on, played the game where it was London Heist, in that van, next to the bald guy. I was shouting and swearing. There was people queuing up with kids and everything. I'm forgetting all this. And I just remember opening the door in the van, which obviously I was amazed you could open a door in a van. And I was like, and I wouldn't get out. I couldn't get out. Obviously, when you play it, you realise that. But in my mind, I didn't know what anything. I thought I was full body tracked and I could roll down the road or something. Like you would have seen me physically roll on the floor, jumping out of that van. Like that's how much I was in the game. And I think when Pixel Rip does that thing where you're in a game, so you're in this. I'm in my room now and I'm playing a game, and then I'm in another room playing a game. It adds something. I think it really does add something. And then at the same time in Pixel Rip, there's moments where what you're doing in that room on that screen jump out of that screen into the room that you're in VR, which is crazy. Like
you forget about your actual real world existence in a way, don't you?
Yeah.
Because your real world is that room you're suddenly in, because you're like, oh, I'm in this room. This is where I am. Because you look up from your screen, you're like, oh, this is, and then you're like, that's not where you are at all.
Yeah, you're busting that teacher, aren't you? That was your main nemesis, and she ends up being part of the final boss. I think the teacher.
And it's just like infused with humor all the way through. Like I love everything 80s and 90s and retro as well. So that obviously automatically makes it really good for me. I suppose if you don't really care so much about that, I don't know. I found it really fun. I think if you just had that platforming gameplay and that was it, do you know what I mean? It'd just be like another platformer in a way. But the way that's infused and it kind of, like you said, it crosses over. Sometimes it's in the game, sometimes it's in your face. The way that all plays together, I think, is really, really fun. Personally, I still think it's one of the best PSVR games out there, just because of how unique it is and how fun I found it. It's like, not like I said, it's not a really long game. It's just really unique, and I think it's really fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw the small little touches as well, sort of like the paper going into the bin, and suddenly the Brazilian footballer comes out of nowhere, and stuff like that. And
didn't we ask Anna about that on the show when we had her here? Didn't we ask?
I think we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, because I'll never forget that.
There was a bit of a clip that was doing the rounds after that show, wasn't there?
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? What? I must have missed it. What happened?
I can't at the moment, because I can't at the moment.
Oh, right, okay.
Goal.
What? Talk to me. Oh, that's what it was? Yeah, that's right. Sousa's long goal shout. That was well funny.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. Blam Crutch says, I'm playing Half-Life Alyx again on hard, taking the gnome with me. Me too, dude. I've got to finish my stream. I am like 2 hours off finishing it. The other day I played for a whole hour before I realised that I forgot him and had to go back several. Oh no, dude.
Oh god, are you playing it with a crate?
Yeah, I've heard that people say. I didn't. I just carried him.
You put him in the crate and you can put ammo in there and other stuff in there as well.
That does look cool. But yeah, that happened to me a couple of times. Dropped the gnome, not realising it, but luckily I managed to remember. But dude, yeah, that would be very painful to think you've got that far and then you've had to go back. But we're all looking forward to checking this out next week. Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent stuff,
100%.
yeah. Excellent, cool. So, what else have we got? Pistol Whip Dark Skies update over to Nat.
I haven't played it yet. I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was on there until I did a little bit of Stormland and went back into the thing, and then just noticed that the Pistol Whip logo had changed.
All right.
I was like, oh, there's a new song, and I was just like, but the thing is, my Quest headset at the time was down to like, I think it was like 14% power.
Yeah.
And I put it on charge, but the thing is, I haven't touched it in the last few days. Like I say, Persona 5 Royal's been taking up the majority of my time, along with watching TV shows on Netflix and Amazon. But yeah, I do want to try it. So obviously, I've got Pixel Ripped. I'll most probably jump into, say, the Pistol Whip one. I don't know, most probably tomorrow or Tuesday.
Yeah. It's really good. I think it's really good. I think the artistic side of it was very good. It's like what is it? Is it like a war setting, isn't it? In there, what is it called?
Like a 1920s blimp or something, isn't it?
It's something like I thought it was really good level. Definitely more detailed and kind of animated than what I've seen before. Full Throttle they went for a thing, didn't they? Actually saying that where they had the dune buggies or whatever coming over and cars. Yeah. Diesel punk. That's it.
I
Cheers,
like
Buck.
that.
It's cinematic in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
really
all
get
of
on with
them
the
are
zoomer.
cinematic, really, you know.
Yeah.
Was it Akuma or Azuma? What was it called?
Akuma.
Zoomer. Is it Akuma?
Was it
Whichever
Akuma?
one, the Japanese one. I did, you know, it wasn't bad or anything. It's just that I didn't enjoy that as much as I'd enjoyed any of the other tracks.
Right.
I didn't.
We did. Me and Buck had a little battle during the stream. That was really cool. I did have some technical difficulties with that. So anyway, Salsa, let's talk about Resident Evil 8 because you must know a little bit about it.
Well,
talk to me. Talk to me.
Talk to you.
Tell us the
Talk to
gossip,
you.
man.
Talk to you.
Boomer news. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, it's a bit of gossip, really, because there's been a lot of. Thank you.
Sorry, boomer news. Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Make it happen.
No, there's been a lot of rumours this last couple of weeks about Resident Evil 8 and a possible VR version of it because it's going to be first-person perspective again.
So because it's a first-person game, very similar to what Dane just threw up, that's what you feel like when you're in first person. A lot
of people. No, because we've had Resident Evil 7 was in VR.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are speculating, well, they've said, yeah, it's going to be first person again. It's going to be a breakaway continuation again. Is it going to be a PlayStation VR exclusive again? Or is it going to come to the PC? And there is a lot of rumors around it being VR, basically. I mean,
do you
would
think
you be
people are
excited to see it?
Yeah, of course. I just don't want to get my hopes up for it.
I suppose my question would be why wouldn't they announce its PSVR at the same point they're announcing its first person? What would be a reason they wouldn't?
I don't think they announced.
Rumors.
I don't think they even announced.
Fully announced. They haven't fully announced.
Someone's just said it, and I can't remember where.
Yeah.
Where did you read that?
So
You're
down
a
the
gamer.
pub.
There's
playing bowls.
news on
Sales was
everything.
playing bowls.
There's all the news sites have got some form
Result,
of
mate.
this leak, that leak, the other leak around it.
If Resident Evil 8 is not VR, many people will be upset, and then Oculus will have to step in and make it happen, just like Dirt Rally 2.
That'd be lovely.
It would
if
be
they
lovely.
did.
Oh yeah, because Tantrum might be joining the Oculus community. He's now out of like some sort of payment plan which he had for the Nintendo Switch, and he's now going to do one for the Oculus, which you can get off Amazon in monthly payments, I believe, which is what I did before.
Cool.
But I think he went to order it and it was out of stock.
Don't surprise me.
It's a shame.
Was that Quest or Rift or
Rift S he wants to get. Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's interested in the
Nice.
Quest. Pretty similar to what South was hitting on earlier. The fact that he's not interested in taking it anywhere. He wants to just play in his home. You know, and that's what he wants,
but
man. And
even in your home being tetherless is
he wants
is
that driving. Yeah, but
No,
there's other things though. He wants
can
that, like a driving
yeah,
simulator.
of course, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's fantastic
The-
games on there. So
The thing is, getting back to Resident Evil 8, I mean, the guy that's revealed it, and he's meant to have revealed some other stuff in the past as well, like he's supposedly revealed that Resident Evil 4 Remake is a thing, which is going to be to the surprise of no one. I mean, they've remade Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, so why on earth wouldn't they go for the biggest Resident Evil of all time, Resident Evil 4, and update the graphics and make it all look nice and pretty and stuff? But the thing is, some of the stuff that he says goes against some of the stuff that Capcom have said about Resident Evil 8. So the only announcement, or not even announcement, but the only sort of little tidbit we got from Capcom directly was after the DLC launched and the Not a Hero DLC came out with Chris Redfield, obviously, and they came out and said the Not a Hero DLC we're going to continue the story from there, because obviously Not a Hero is a continuation of where Resident Evil 7 finished. You have Resident Evil 7 with what's his name, Ethan, getting choppered out, and Chris Redfield comes in with his team, and that's where you get the Not a Hero DLC. And they came out and said, you know, our ideas at the moment are to continue from the Chris Redfield section. Now, what they've come out, or what this guy's come out and said is, Chris Redfield is now your enemy. You're still going to be Ethan, but now Chris Redfield's going to be your enemy, which goes against everything about Chris Redfield in Resident Evil games anyway, for a start. And it's not going to be zombies or whatever they are. You're going to be fighting, I think they said, werewolves. Which again is just like, really, why would you mess up? I mean, kind of where they went with Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 4 getting away from the zombies kind of made a bit of sense, but going to werewolves is really going way out there. And I'm not sure if that's going to go. And now he's also saying that initially this was meant to be Resident Evil Revelations 3. So, because obviously we had the 2 Revelations. So, I think you need to take a lot of it with a pinch of salt. Are they working on the Resident Evil 8? 100%. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 was a boon for them. I mean, suddenly... I think that was the one game that really turned Capcom around, because Capcom was putting out bloody awful games. Some of them were okay, but really didn't have a high level of quality. And then literally ever since Resident Evil 7's come out, you know, whether it's Devil May Cry 5 or the Resident Evil remakes or loads of the other games that they've brought out, they've all been of a really high standard. They haven't brought them out as quickly, but the games that they have brought out have been really
just
high
as a
rated.
note on that, the Resident Evil 7, the VR user count of that was 17% of the user base played in VR. Now that's a really big deal, because that was across all of the different things, and only people who opted into their survey. So that's not actually going to be the total number of people that played in VR, but 17% of all players played in VR.
What's this, Resident Evil 7?
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, it's crazy, because when you play a game like that in VR, I've tried to play it outside of VR, and to be honest, graphically it looked a lot better. But apart from that, dude, I felt nothing. I was just like, nah, man, this game, for me, was meant to be in VR. You know, that's how it was.
It rocks it.
Got a comment from Dylan. Thank you to You Got Cold Jogger for bringing that up to me. Sorry, dude, I missed that. He's put, hey, VR Link, would love to know what system specs you all use when playing PC VR, and if you've had any trouble playing any games due to insufficient specifications. I've had a couple of... So there's some games that I can't play on ultra settings, but that's because I don't ever really play PC games without streaming them. Very rarely. So I always tend to go for either recommended, because I know some people... You get a recommended spec, but you can usually sometimes go higher. I always knock it down to high. And I've got an RTX 2070, 32 gigs of RAM, which I think is DDR... What have I got?
4.
I think it might be 4, yeah. And an Intel i9. But if you want to know anything, I've got my specs and everything that I use for everything I do is in normally every single video as like what are they called? Not referral links or something, affiliate links. Everything's there on Amazon. Use them or don't use them, but either way, you know what I use. So yeah, but personally, I have no issues playing any VR games. So what about you guys?
No, I ain't got any issues. Not yet, anyway.
I have had in the past where I've had processor performance issues, and that's to do with particular types of games. You will find that there are some VR games that are CPU hungry, that only go on one core. So even though your CPU will say, I'm only being 60% used, one core in your CPU is being picked up to 100%. And when that happens, it throws the frame rate off. That's usually what happens in performance issues. And that's usually with racing sims and flying sims. They are the big culprits of having issues. Other than that, most people just turn the settings down a bit, and you're good to go for a lot of people.
I do love going through. I do like it when people put their specs on here, because as someone who's not, like, I wouldn't want to open up my PC and change something currently. I know I'm going to have to one day. I've got to do it. But literally, I just wanted to do PC VR. Rang up a company called Scan Computers, told them what I needed, told them it was also going to be for dual streaming, because a lot of people have a PC for streaming and then for gaming. So that's why the Intel i9 come in actually. And that's why when I done my Quest live streaming video, I included my OBS settings, because my encoder everything is handled by my processor instead of doing the Nvidia NVENC, which is using your GPU and not your CPU. So yeah, that's why I went that way, because I noticed on the whole that most games tended to be pushing my GPU more than my CPU. So as a guess almost, that's what I've gone for. So yeah, but it's interesting. What we've got i7. A lot of people I think use i7 for VR. Yeah, Buck does. Great Tantrum. You got a 1080 Tantrum. Nice. You're gonna be fine, dude. Hello, DJ. You're gonna be fine, man. You're gonna be enjoying stuff. Nice. GTX 1080. Dude, when I was looking at graphics card, right, the 1080 was £900, and it was already like something like 2 or 3 years old or something. Yeah. It was a legendary card, and then yeah, the 2070 was like half the price, and I basically looked up the specs of what I can get and stuff, and I'm not saying it's close to a 1080, but with the ray tracing and a few other bits and being a newer card and stuff, it seemed to be the best choice for me for price and stuff as well, because now I've got that bottom line. I can upgrade bits, but it's getting that base unit done, and that's what I did. I went to Scan Computers, gave them a bulk of money, and went, this is what I need to do, and they built it for me. And with that, you've got warranty and next day delivery of stuff, and I think the first year, it won't be happening now, obviously, because what's going on with COVID, but they would come to your house, as far as I know, and change a part in the first year. So, all part of that service. So Nat, you got yours from your work, I believe, with a discount.
Yeah, I did. I got a RTX 2070 Super in mine, so it's better than a 1080, but it's not as good as a 1080 Ti. It kind of sits somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Between the two of them. I didn't need to worry about streaming, because I've got literally the laptop I'm using now. I literally have my Elgato plugged into my laptop, and then I run my PC through my Elgato onto my TV, and then the laptop
so you're
for
doing
streaming.
You're using a dual setup.
Yeah, so I don't have. I'm not asking my PC to do any extra work. In fact, the only game that I had a slight issue with, and I noticed a lot of people. In fact, I noticed GT had the same issue. Is not Stormlands, was Half-Life Alyx. Every time I started Half-Life Alyx up initially, it came up and said, I think it was low memory on GPU or something like that.
That was a fault of the game, not your system.
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't think it was an issue with my system.
I wonder what that was.
I had that same issue, and I've got 32 gig of RAM and a RTX 2080 Ti. So
yeah,
that is definitely a fault of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I say, I did encounter quite a few massive frame rate drops during Half-Life Alyx. But sort of like leaving the game and then coming back, I was fine. On the whole, like I said, I mean, one of the main reasons I wanted to get the PC side of it is you looked at the games that were coming for PC VR. That was the biggest thing. It was just like, especially as soon as because obviously I was happy. It was like, okay, I got PlayStation VR, I got Oculus Quest, and I was like, you know what, I'm fine with that. And I'd seen Stormland and I'd seen Asgard's Wrath, and it's like, well, I'd like to play them, but I'm fine not doing it. And then literally you had like within a month or 2 months, you had like this triple whammy. It's like, okay, you can use your Oculus Quest headset with a USB cable through this Oculus Link service that we're going to be bringing up, and you can play PC VR games. And that was like, wow, that's a good one. And then suddenly it's like, okay, Half-Life Alyx gets announced. And then at the same Oculus Connect 6 event, they announced the Medal of Honor Above and Beyond.
Oh, no, yeah, can't wait for that.
And then it's just like, you know what? I think now is the time to sort of like just bite the bullet. And I was never going to buy another headset. I wasn't going to sort of say, oh, I'm going to go out and buy the Rift S now. It's like, no, I'm going to I wanted to wait and see what people said about the Oculus Link, and pretty much the ad universal praise. This thing does actually do what it says on the box. It actually works, and it's like, okay, now I'm going to jump in for a PC.
It is very good. The Link is very good.
So it's definitely something to have, and yeah, now it's just opened up a whole new world. I mean, the touch controllers when I had the Quest, playing certain games that were on the Quest that were on PlayStation VR, it was just like I really enjoyed this, and then suddenly trying some of the PC VR games because then suddenly I was buying them. It's like, well, I'm going to try Elder Scrolls, and I know Fallout 4 kind of works. It's kind of got a beta mod, or not a beta, but yeah, it's a beta type thing. I'll give that a try. And I've got to admit, like I say, I really enjoyed playing Elder Scrolls Skyrim, especially with the touch controllers, as I said before. And yeah, like I say, this world's open up. Stormland, as I said, it was one of my favourite games last year. Still hadn't finished it, and like I say, I thought I'd actually managed to crack all the way through it. And then I was just like, you know what? I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna finish Stormland. And I started it, and I was about an hour in. I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm even halfway through this thing.
Yeah.
I really don't, because I was like, oh well, I've just got to go and get the seed for Nyx. I guess that would be the end. Sort of like the story, and there'll be a little bit towards the end of it. And it's just like get the story. It's like, no, you need to go and get all this sort of stuff sorted. It's like, oh shit, am I like halfway through? 2/3 of the way through. I think I've got a little bit more to put into this because, like I say, I do want to go back to Lone Echo. I want to finish that. I do want to start on Asgard's Wrath as well because, like I say, I picked that up.
You need to stop playing flat games, dude.
Yeah, but it's Persona 5 Royal, and
right,
on top of that, before that, it was Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and like Dane said, that was the thing. Is, I went into Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I'd never played the original. I played a bit of the original, and it drove me up the wall. It wasn't the graphics; it's that you walked along a walkway. You just got into a battle out.
You're not about to slag off Final Fantasy 7, are you?
No, but I just didn't understand it. And then sort of like the bit where I turned Final Fantasy 7 off, I was just like, oh no, this is going to drive me up the wall. I went down a flight of stairs. Halfway down the stairs, I got into a battle. Got to the bottom of the stairs, realised that I'd gone the wrong way. Went back up the stairs, got halfway up the stairs, went into another battle, and I was just like, no, this is just going to drive me up the wall.
That's life, dude. It's life lessons,
I don't care about life. I'm old. I'm going to die soon anyway.
Every
not as old as South
train station, if I go up them stairs, punch up. Go down those stairs, punch up. Real life.
That's what it's like. South Memphis, thank you ever so much for that donation, dude. But I know that's what it is. A pair character doing a massive thumbs up. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Whoa.
Thank you, South Memphis. You are great. It is an amazing donation. We love you. I hope you are well and you are keeping fit, doing pumping. Of course, how you choose to do your pumping is up to you, but I hope you're doing it.
Yeah.
And everyone's washing their hands after using their quests. You've got keep washing your hands. That's all I keep hearing is washing hands every day, all day. Alex is probably good on the Quest. Obviously, much better. Do you know what? Just talking about that. I seriously think that this has brought so many more people into PC VR. The Link, I think that was the main aim for Oculus. I think what it's done is they've rode that horse of like Quest amazingness, and people have gone, oh, all I need is a PC, and I can play it. Right, I'll do that. Do you know what I mean? Loads of people, I think, have literally gone from Quest to PC VR. And I do wonder whether they go then to native Quest titles afterwards as much, because there's a big library, massive, that could take you months and months and months to get through.
I still go back to Pistol Whip on Quest.
Yeah.
When I play, because again, you got the freedom with the Quest that you don't have with the Link or anything. So, but yeah, I mean, certain games like I gave up on Lies Beneath on the Quest because, like I said, I just had too many issues with it. I was just like, I'm sick of this. I don't want to get angry at the game.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wait for the Rift version, and again, that's another game that I need to at some point jump in. But got another 3 weeks of lockdown, so it ain't like I'm going to run out of time anytime.
One of the things I do think with something like where you have a higher refresh rate on the screen. So Pistol Whip games like that are better with the higher refresh rate, though. That's one of the things I will say.
Yeah, but with the Quest, the refresh is locked in it, so
it's
I'm not gonna gain anything in terms of refresh by playing it on the PC side, because the Quest is still got a certain lock
exactly.
on
It's locked to that side. But yeah, that's a different thing, which is going to be interesting to see. Because I will be able to go between what Alex is like on the Quest to what Alex is like on the Index in hopefully about 6 weeks' time.
Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, so has anyone got any more comments or anything they want to add to this chat? Anyone got any questions? Because I'm very hungry. I'm getting that. I'm getting starving, dude. I'm like, oh, I haven't had any dinner yet. Beat Saber at 144 hertz is incredible. Says,
really smooth.
Yeah, but that is really good. Clueless Dad Gamer, which I don't think he is very clueless. He seems to know quite a bit. I like to see the comparisons between the Quest titles and the PC version, see the difference, like Aspire 1 and the Vader series. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I like them, but sometimes I don't as well, because you can put up a £5,000 PC against a Quest. There's no real it's hard to benchmark something. I mean, obviously you could just say this is my benchmark specs and do that. That's cool, but you could never find a definitive answer to that, because if someone had a really crap PC, there is a chance maybe that the Quest would look better. So I think that's a tough one for me. I watch them videos and I kind of think, I don't really want to watch these videos, but it is interesting. I know people do want them out there. I think if you go towards maybe more if you're impressed with a Quest game, and it's very similar, and that has happened once before, where obviously my PC, you know my specs, I told you earlier, and I played the Quest game, and I'm like, dude, this is spot on. I like that. But when you see Triton down, and someone goes, well, here's the Quest version, and here's the PC VR version, I'm like, they're worlds apart. Like, do you know what I mean? No one's going to look at the Quest version the same. They're going to go, God, that's awful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you see,
then you have the other side of that argument, which was brought up of like Vader, where you actually have the freedom the Quest gives you for the dojo.
Oh, the dojo mode is to be fair, I think it's the best thing about the Vader Immortal series. Is the dojo mode. I absolutely love that. I do go back to that, because I know you get to unlock lightsabers, don't you, from all the different characters in episode 3, and I still need to do that. Dane, is your connection all right, Dane?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right, cool. I saw it glitching out. Where are we? Freedom movement means a lot. Yeah, I get sick of cables. To be honest, when I'm doing what I'm doing, I think to myself, oh, dude, the amount of times I've wheeled over my cable for my Rift S is worrying. Like, I do think to myself, I need a backup. I need a backup Rift S, because I get worried about that. But yeah, if everyone's happy, what do you reckon? Good time to finish? We done all right? Everyone happy?
Yep.
Yeah.
You all good? Excellent, guys. Thank you ever so much for everyone in the chat for being here today. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your likes. Thank you to the patrons of the channel and the channel members. Really appreciate it. And thank you to these guys. Thank you to Nat from 7 Degrees of Gaming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to Salsa from Salsa Ketchup VR. Thank you to
Chelsea.
Thank you to Dane from Get to the Chopper VR. Make sure you check out these guys' channels, please, for content. And yeah, as I said, thank you ever so much for being here, and I really appreciate your time. We'll see you all again next week, where we can actually discuss Pixel Rip 1995, because it will be released by then in some detail. So that'd be pretty cool. Cheers, guys. You two, you all stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Thank you all for being here. Please consider joining our lovely Discord. It's beautiful, man. It's lovely in there. So much positivity. We had a guy, son. Thanks for being here, man. Literally, a guy come in. I think it was like a day ago, 2 days ago. Literally tried to attack someone, and everyone was on him. Guy, son got rid of him, and it made me so pleased. So that's pretty cool. We got.
Well, South Memphis with the sneaky game over.
Oh man, game over.
Chatting now.
It is game over,
game
dude.
Over.
It is.
Thank you for the donation. Now
out of lives, out continues. We're all done. So cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Look after yourself. Have a great week, and see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.